All right, let's get right into it. We've all seen the pictures, right? Those sun-drenched decks, crystal clear water, and celebrities living a life that looks like an absolute dream. But behind all that glamour, behind these mega yachts, lies one of Hollywood's darkest and, honestly, most persistent open secrets.
You see, it's a world swimming in massive wealth, power, and unbelievable opportunity. But for some, it's also a world of exploitation, of coercion. So what is really going on aboard those floating palaces? And what's the actual price of that picture-perfect Instagram post we all see?
To really understand the reality here, we first got to peel back the layers of this illusion, this fantasy that is so carefully sold to us every single day. I mean, just think about the names. Bella Hadid, Angelina Jolie, and tons of other models and actresses. You scroll through their feed and it's just endless photos from the south of France, chilling on these incredible yachts during the Cannes Film Festival. It seriously looks like the ultimate vacation, doesn't it? The symbol that you've truly made it. But is it really just a vacation?
To get what's actually happening, we need to talk about one specific term, a word that pretty much unlocks this entire story. That word is yachting. And no, it has nothing to do with sailing. In this world, yachting describes a very specific arrangement where people, usually young women, are paid to be guests on these yachts. And they're usually in the company of extremely wealthy, extremely powerful, and often anonymous men. And let's be super clear here. There is a massive difference. A vacation is for you. It's for leisure. You pay your own way. Yachting, on the other hand, is a transaction. All your expenses are covered, plus you get paid a fee. The whole expectation isn't just to relax, it's to provide company, to be part of the vibe, all with this unspoken promise of networking and huge career opportunities. And we really need to get our heads around the scale of this. We are not talking about some nice boat you can rent for a weekend. These yachts are literally floating mansions. The cheapest ones often cost upwards of $200 million. I mean, these are colossal ships owned by billionaires and royalty, decked out with helicopter pads, swimming pools, the whole shebang.
So that brings up the big question, right? Why would anyone, especially someone who's already famous, get mixed up in all this? Well, the answer seems to be a powerful cocktail of money, ambition, and the temptation of a shortcut straight to the top.
The reasons are pretty compelling. First, you get the chance to network with people who can greenlight movies or sign you to a major fashion campaign. Second, there's just the exposure you get from being seen in these super exclusive circles. And finally, there's the money. And we're talking about life-altering amounts of money. One investigation into the whole scene around the Cannes Film Festival called the yacht a shortcut to fame. And that really nails it. Spending time with these powerful men can blast open doors that would otherwise take years and years to even crack. All of a sudden, an unknown model is walking the red carpet, or an actress with barely any credits lands a massive role.
And then, yeah, let's get back to the money, because it's just staggering. While some might get paid, say, $50,000, reports have claimed that for the most famous women, the fee for a single evening can hit $500,000 for one night. That's an almost unimaginable number, and it really helps you understand why this world is so incredibly tempting.
As you can imagine, a world with this much money and this much secrecy, it's going to be a breeding ground for rumors. And over the years, some of the biggest names in Hollywood have been pulled right into the middle of it. Maybe the most persistent allegations have always been about the Kardashian-Jenner family. Way back in 2015, rumors started flying that the matriarch, Kris Jenner, was grooming her youngest daughter, Kylie, who was still a minor at the time, for this exact world. The claim was that she was getting her ready so that the second she turned 18, she could become a major player. And sure enough, guess where Kylie celebrated her 18th birthday? On a yacht, in Cannes. And the speculation definitely doesn't stop with Kylie. For years, people have raised eyebrows at Kim Kardashian's trips to the Middle East, supposedly just to open a milkshake shop, which actually led to protests. And more recently, a Liprator analyzed a video of Kendall Jenner in Dubai, where she seemed to be describing her first 2 trips there as awful, which got everyone wondering what she was really talking about. And in all these stories, Kris Jenner is often painted as the puppet master pulling all the strings. So this brings us to a really wild conspiracy theory. It says that a bottled water company called Water 138 was actually a front for a high-end escort service. I mean, the ads were almost exclusively bikini models, and internet detectives pointed out that the way the company described the women sounded way more like a sales pitch than a water ad. Anonymous insider gossip claimed the manager behind the whole thing was Kris Jenner, who was using Tyga, her son-in-law at the time, as the public face of the company.
And look, the speculation isn't just about the Kardashian-Jenners. Insiders and reports have linked other huge names to the scene, like models Bella Hadid and Hailey Bieber, who you often see on yachts with the same circle of people. Even Meghan Markle's name has popped up, with some theories suggesting her life before she was a royal might have crossed paths with this world, and that it could have even been how she met Prince Harry.
But okay, what is it actually like on the inside? If we step away from the rumors and speculation, one anonymous actress shared her own first-hand account, and her story paints a picture that is a million miles away from any of those glamorous photos.
So she was a working actress on a successful TV show, but when the show got canceled out of nowhere, she was left without a job. A fellow actress came to her and told her about this easy way to make money. Just spend the summer in Europe, go to parties on yachts, and get paid a ton of money. It was all pitched to her as a simple modeling job.
The reality, though, was a complete nightmare. She describes a scene of just relentless exploitation. The men on the yacht would grope the women, film them without consent. She says if any of them passed out from being exhausted or drunk, they would just take pictures of her and harass her. She called it, in her own words, a night of constant assault.
And that promised luxury? It was a total lie. While some of the women got to stay on the yachts with the clients, she and the other models were crammed 6 people into a single hotel room. The parties were just fueled by drugs and alcohol, and then, tragically, on her last night there, one of the other girls died from an overdose. She said, "I hated myself there."
So what becomes painfully clear is that the gap between that glossy, perfect image and the grim reality is just enormous. It is all a carefully built fantasy.
And you know, it's not just the guests who see this dark side. According to one former deckhand, his job on one of these super yachts was, quote, hell. He said his duties included cleaning up the aftermath of drug-fueled parties and even watching a fellow crew member die in a horrible accident on deck. The entire system is built on keeping up this perfect facade while hiding a really brutal reality.
At the end of the day, it's a world built on power, desire, and illusion. A world that promises a shortcut to the top, but so often leads to a very, very dark place. So the next time you're scrolling through your feed and you see that perfect photo of a celebrity on a yacht, it's probably worth asking yourself, what might be happening just outside the frame?